Shrapnel.
Howdy ho, Tobias.
Well, hello there, Craig. Welcome, everyone, to Film Shrapnel, your one-stop spot for everything movies. How are you, Craig?
Pretty good, pretty excited.
Yeah, because it's Oscars time, baby.
Yeah.
It's time for and this is the most exciting time for anyone who's into movies because, you know, this is where all these celebrities get to pat themselves on the back and make themselves feel really, important in our lives when they're probably not that important. But
yeah,
this is that time of year where we can see, all of the fans. We can watch them, shroud themselves in ego. It's fun.
and also for a lot of films to be sidelined and some very basic ones to win awards sometimes. It's a controversial time
I'll,
at the best of
I'll,
times.
I'll tell you this: the biggest Oscar snub this year for me, RRR has not received any nomination except for Best Original Song. They have not received any other nominations, not even Best International Picture. I'm very annoyed with that. What a snub. They should have definitely gotten a nomination. Fucking love RRR. Easily my favorite film of last year.
Well, I'll tell you this as well. A lot of the films, because we briefly went through them earlier today, I haven't seen or heard of quite a few of them. And
Yeah.
I regularly look at film news, here and there. And I'm surprised, how have I not heard of any of these? And they're all nominated to win something. That's a bit crazy.
A lot of these have flown under the radar, in all fairness. I've not seen a whole bunch of films that have been nominated this year for various awards. But what we're doing today, because today isn't the Oscars, this is going to go up just before the Oscars. This is going to be me and Craig predicting who's going to win each category. And then next episode, we're going to do our post-Oscars reaction, and we're going to tally up the points then and see who won. So I'm quite excited for that.
Yeah, we turned it into a game again.
And
to be fair, like we just said, a lot of them we haven't seen. So we're pretty much guessing from the poster and the title.
I mean, for you, maybe I've seen quite a few of these, but not all of them. Not all of them. Yeah. But I can make some good educated guesses, I think. Yeah.
Our main focus was on Best Picture, and we did manage to watch all of them between ourselves. So at least for that area, we're good.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so should we get started, Craig, for our Oscar predictions this year, 2023?
Let's go for it.
The 95th Academy Awards. So what I'm going to do, Craig, I've got a list up of all the nominations, but I'm going to do it in reverse order. So instead of starting with Best Picture, I'm going to start at the bottom of my list, which is Best Sound. We'll work our way up. So then the last one will be our Best Picture prediction.
All right, and now I'll tally up our bets, and then we can check them later when we see.
Yeah, you write them down. Okay, so our first category is Best Sound. We've got Top Gun Maverick. We've got All Quiet on the Western Front. We've got Avatar. We've got Elvis. And we've got The Batman. There are nominations for Best Sound.
That is such an odd mix of films.
Isn't it just?
I don't even know where to start. I've watched Elvis, and I've watched All Quiet on the Western Front. And
you've seen The Batman as well, right?
I've also seen The Batman as well. I wouldn't put The Batman and All Quiet on the Western Front in the same category as Elvis for Best Sound. It just feels like a very strange choice. I'm going to go with the obvious on this one. I'm going to say it's Elvis. I mean, you haven't seen it yet.
No, I haven't. I'm not interested.
Well, I wasn't too interested, but that was part of the reason I wanted to watch it, actually. I mean,
okay, fair enough.
It is a good film. We'll get onto that more in a bit later.
We'll do that. We'll talk about all of these films in depth in the next one for sure.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with Elvis as my bet for that one.
Elvis. You know what? I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to go with Top Gun Maverick for best sound.
Okay, Top
Just
Gun.
because I know you haven't seen Top Gun Maverick, but just all the flying stuff, it's so visceral. You really feel that you're in there with them. A friend of mine said he went to go see it in 4DX, so the seats were moving with the thing, and they were like, "Oh my god,
Oh,
it was actually amazing." Right. So I think that's probably the best way to watch it in 4DX. I didn't watch it in 4DX. I watched it in standard def, but
hmm.
yeah, I kind of wish I'd went for the moving chairs option because I even watching it in a fully stationary chair, I felt that I was being really drawn into all the flying stuff, and I think the sound's a big part of that. The editing also is a big part of that. The cinematography, like just a really nice blend of everything to give you this effect. So I'm going to go with Top Gun Maverick. That's my prediction.
That's very interesting you say that actually about Top Gun, about the editing in particular, because that's one of the
Mm.
things that I'm going to bring up about Elvis, by the way, when we
Hmm.
get there. Let's move
I
on to
mean,
the
I,
next one.
I I do believe Top Gun Maverick will be nominated for best editing as well. I'm not. I don't think I'm going to go for it though. In all fairness, we'll see.
Ah, okay.
So
What's
next on our list, we've got best production design. Um, so we've got Babylon. This is the one of the only categories that Babylon got a nomination for. I haven't seen it still, but I've heard it's probably the best film this year. It's excellent, apparently. And it's only been nominated for a couple of awards, not for the main awards either. So, best production design: Babylon, The Fablemans, All Quiet on the Western Front, Avatar: The Way of Water, and Elvis.
oh
Now, go
that's a
on.
tough one.
It, it is tough.
I'm going to rule out the Fablemans, although I love the film. I feel that there is some crazy stuff going. I mean, putting Avatar and All Quiet
That's
on the Western Front in the
yeah,
same, like, how do you measure that? That's incredibly tough. I haven't seen
yeah.
Avatar yet, but you don't have to be,
You
you
can
don't have to
all
know
you can
anything.
imagine.
Yeah, you can
You can
imagine.
imagine. Yeah. I would
Hmm.
say for my prediction, I'll go first if you want more time to think about it.
Go
Uh,
on.
I will go for Avatar: Way of Water simply because I seem to recall that the first Avatar film won for best production design, and I think the production design in this one is superior. So I'm going to go for Avatar: Way of Water for this one. You
Okay.
me and Craig can pick the same film if we choose to, you know. Uh, but yeah, I'm actually very close to go for Babylon because I hear it looks impeccable, and I've seen a
Hmm.
couple of clips, and it does look brilliant. But I just think you're not going to take this award away from Cameron. I think Cameron's got this one in the bag.
Yeah. It'd be interesting if it. Well, would it be interesting if it wins again? I don't know because I'm kind of stuck between All Quiet on the Western Front and Avatar. But you know what? Thinking more about it, maybe you know what? I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to go with Avatar for this.
I just don't think that they can deny James Cameron this award when you consider he spent a quarter of his natural life making this one movie. But yeah, you have to sort of give it to him at this point.
Yeah.
No. All right. Well, that's two. That's the second category locked in. Both of us going for Avatar 2. It'll be annoying if we're both wrong now. Be well annoying. I'm sure we're right though. Okay, so next, are you ready for the next category?
Mm-hmm.
Best film editing. Okay. Now, I think this is a really interesting selection. Top Gun Maverick, Everything Everywhere All at Once,
Ooh.
The Banshees of Inisherin, Elvis, and Tar.
Oh, I haven't seen Tar yet.
I have seen Tar. I've seen all. I haven't seen Elvis though. So
Oh,
with the two musical biopics that we've got in this category, one we've only seen one apiece.
yeah. Uh, oh, I think it's got to be between You know what? You know what? It's really tricky to. I'm going to say something a little bit controversial because I think a lot of people are going to think that Everything Everywhere All at Once probably has some of the best editing. But I
Mm-hmm.
think that Elvis, the edit, particularly at the beginning of the film, is really, really good, very solid. Like some amazing editing at the beginning of that. I saw. What were the other options again? Probably I'm going to go
So
with
we
Elvis, but
we got Top Gun Maverick, Everything Everywhere, Banshees of Inisherin, Elvis, and Tar.
right. So Banshees of Inisherin, if that's how you pronounce it. Um, I did like it, but to give it the best editing,
Excellent.
I mean, it's a good film, yeah, but I didn't.
Very. I think it's very well edited in terms of like the you don't really notice the editing.
True.
I think it's very well put together. And don't forget that like when it comes to editing, I don't think they have like a specific criteria for giving the best editing film award. Because I remember Bohemian Rhapsody won best editing at the Oscars, and there are some seriously badly edited scenes in that movie, and it
Hmm.
still won best editing. So whether I don't even think this particular category I don't think there is a right or wrong answer, and I've got a feeling that the Academy will probably give it to one of the films that doesn't deserve it. I would imagine
That's interesting. Yeah, I
because
didn't really
Bohemian
think.
Rhapsody definitely didn't deserve it for
I did.
sure.
I didn't think about editing being awarded for when you don't notice it. I always thought of like if you win best editing, that should mean that you can notice it and you appreciate it. Um,
Well, of course, but let's not forget that sometimes it might be a directorial flourish rather than the editing that's like making a particular scene unique. But
true, true.
but I think editing is one of the unsung heroes of cinema.
It is
Editors, I don't think editors get paid very much, comparatively speaking, and like they really do create the pace and the tone of the film. Like they that's their job to actualize the director's vision, and it's a really tough job. I'm
true.
only saying this because I've done editing in the past. It's fucking hard. It's a
Yeah, me
tough
too.
job.
It's a lot more time consuming than people think. Really crazy amount of time.
Yeah.
Like I remember like sometime the kind of thing that I notice is that if you have something, let's say you have about a 5 minute thing to edit, give or take, it's probably going to take you about 5 hours. Like something like a minute an hour is roughly one thing I remember
I mean,
noticing.
depends on what you're editing, but absolutely, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, it to the microsecond, some of these edits need to be made.
yeah.
So what's your prediction then?
Uh
You're in between Elvis and Everything Everywhere.
yeah. You know what? I'm actually going to go with Elvis.
Okay.
The editing was really blows you away. Like at the beginning of this film, I
Well,
was very impressed with it.
okay. I'm interested. I haven't seen it, so I can't comment. I'll say I'm very, very tempted to say Top Gun Maverick. Like very tempted, but I think I'm going to have to go with Everything Everywhere All at Once because it is just editing perfection. Again, one of those films where you do notice the editing. The editing really is a part of the spectacle, and I think it really is a masterpiece. But like I say, based on Bohemian Rhapsody, it could go to anyone. It could go to Tar, which I think would be the least deserving film on the list for it.
Hmm.
And I'm wrong, I haven't seen Elvis, but based on what you're saying, I didn't think Tar was edited like it didn't blow me away. The editing.
Shall we move on to the next one?
Yeah, have you marked it down?
Yeah, yeah. Everything. You might hear me tapping here and there. That's me.
Are you ready for the next category?
Yes, please.
Our next category is best costume design. So typically, this is a category that usually uh, gets won by like period dramas, like historically speaking, if you pardon the pun.
Hmm.
So our nominees for best costume design: Babylon, Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris, which I've never heard of. Black Panther 2, Wakanda Forever, Everything Everywhere All at Once, or Elvis.
So talking about Elvis again, because I've already mentioned it a million times. Costume design, yeah, I guess it's all right. It's the thing about Elvis, of course, they're going to have costumes.
Well, this is it. That's got to be part of the movie in a big way, because Elvis was so known for so many costumes.
Yeah, but I'm gonna guess that probably not Elvis for this one. Everything Everywhere All at Once is an interesting one for this, because they did have a freaking ton of costumes, actually. Like, I remember there were sometimes the daughter, I can't remember her name, who her evil parallel universe version of herself. There were so many scenes in that film where she would be swapping costumes, and it would just be like for a shot sometimes, and then the next shot she'd be wearing something different. Like, the amount of costumes they went through is insane.
This is it. It might very well go to that. It might very well go to Everything Everywhere.
Well, the other two options you said were Paris and something. Sorry.
So we got Babylon, Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris, Black Panther 2, and Everything Everywhere, and Elvis.
So Black Panther, I have not seen any of them so far. I'm super behind on most Marvel stuff. I have a feeling that it won't get it because it's a Marvel superhero thing. Although I've seen images here and there, so I know that they do try hard on that. What else do we? So Babylon, I don't know. I might go with Babylon as a wild card for this one, because from what you've told me, if it's really well designed, or should I go with Everything Everywhere All at Once? I don't know. What do you think?
The thing is, if you put a gun to my head, my heart would say Babylon, but I'm not going to go with Babylon. I actually have a very different opinion to you. I'm going to go for what I think they will give it to, because this is a competition at the end of the day, and I want to win. So I actually am not going to pick the one that I want to win. I'm going to pick the one I think will win. I've got mine already. I'm going to go Black Panther 2.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's you think not, because it's a Marvel film. I think it will get it. I think it will get it. I think Disney will probably pull some strings and be like, okay, we've got to win one. You got to let us win one. And they'll be like, we'll give you costume design then. Fuck it. So yeah, for costume design, I'm going to go Black Panther 2. Okay,
I'm going to go for Babylon.
Okay, cool. If I'm perfectly honest, if Babylon's going to win anything, it'll probably be this as well. I think it's a really tough category for me to think of one. I'm going to go Black Panther 2. My heart says Babylon, but my brain says the Oscars are going to do Disney a favor.
Okay, cool. Let's move on to the next one then.
Let's do it. Again, another wild card category: best makeup and hairstyling.
Oh,
I know, yeah. So again, we've got Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. We've got All Quiet on the Western Front. We've got Elvis. We've got The Whale. And we've got The Batman.
Oh, that's a really
difficult category. Because now I haven't seen Elvis, but I can almost guarantee that the makeup and hairstyles are going to be excellent. I'm guessing, because I seem to recall the guy they've got to play Elvis kind of already looks like Elvis anyway. But I'm guessing in the movie, he really looks like Elvis. And the hair is all there. The makeup's perfect. Like, I'm sure that'll be why this film's getting nominated.
Yeah, I can see that. I don't know. I guess I expected it so much that when I was watching it, I wasn't really thinking about, that's pretty good. The one thing I will say about the lead guy, Austin Butler, is that he doesn't really ever get to the stage of fat Elvis, which I was like, come on.
Oh, that's a shame. You want to see fat Elvis.
Yeah, you would think okay, cool. There's the young Elvis. He looks great. And then
The last scene of the film should be Fat Elvis sat on a toilet. That should be the last scene of the film.
Actually, I think the last scene of the film, if I remember correctly, is actually Elvis himself playing the piano, in one of
Well,
his
that's
last
nice.
performance before he dies, and you can see he's very overweight.
Or, or it should
Um,
just cut away to a deserted island with him and Tupac, and they're like, ha.
I don't know. I mean, bringing in Batman as well. I mean, it's been a while since I watched that. I guess, yeah, the hair and makeup. Hair and makeup actually in Batman. I mean, Batman
Okay, so
himself is wearing a mask.
I'll analyze all the options very briefly. So I've said Elvis is obviously going to be the fact that they're getting someone to look and feel like Elvis. That'll be why they're nominated. The reason why Black Panther 2 will be nominated is because you'll have all of these like Afrofuturism style costume design, makeup design, set design. So there's a lot of like different tribes within Wakanda that they have to communicate through makeup and costume. But also there's this other underwater people that they're blue on land. I actually didn't rate the makeup, but that'll be well, 50% of the makeup is amazing. I thought all the Atlantic makeup when they're on the surface looked a bit shit. The Whale with Brendan Fraser, he's literally playing someone who's fucking 400 pounds, 500 pounds overweight. He can barely stand up because he's that fucking fat. You know, he's really fucking obese. And he's topless a lot of the time in the movie. So you really do see all the makeup, all these prosthetic features. The Batman as well. They did this with Colin Farrell. You know, Colin Farrell is
Mm.
barely recognizable as the Penguin. He looks completely different. And I think the hair and makeup did a really good job on that as well. So this is a really tough category. There's also All Quiet on the Western Front, which I fell asleep in. So I have much less of an opinion about it. But I don't think it's winning this category. Uh,
No.
if you want me to make my guess before you, I'm very torn between The Whale and another film, but I'm not going to say which one because I'm sort of leaning towards it, and I don't want to signpost the correct answer for you.
Mm. Well, I don't think All Quiet on the Western Front is going to get this, and I
No.
don't think Batman will either. Although, yeah, as you said, uh
Now that I've reminded you about Colin Farrell, it's like, oh, actually, that is actually amazing makeup. It
yeah,
really is amazing makeup. So,
you know what I'm going to go for? Uh I'm going to go for the Whale on this one.
yeah, see that's what I'm keen to pick as well. But okay, so my second option, I actually think the Colin Farrell makeup in the Batman is that good that I reckon that's why I reckon that's the only reason why they're even nominated for this category. Because Colin Farrell is just unrecognizable. Like Brendan Fraser still looks like Brendan Fraser in The Whale. Colin Farrell has completely transformed into this other character. You would never recognize him. So I
Hmm.
think, but maybe it's a lot to do with the performance as well. But I'm actually I'm glad you said The Whale because then it's decided it for me. I'm actually going to go with the Batman. I think Colin Farrell, his hair and makeup is that good that yeah, I reckon it could win it. But you know what? It wouldn't surprise me if Black Panther 2 gets it again. Disney steps in, be like, we got to win this one. Yeah, you got to. We're not going to let you guys leave the building unless we win some awards. So it could be Black Panther, but I'm going to go. I'm going to go with the Batman.
Okay. Next category.
Next category, sir. Best cinematography. We're getting to the big boys now. Best cinematography. So nominated this year, we have Empire of Light, we have All Quiet on the Western Front, we have Bardo, False Chronicles of a Handful of Truths, Elvis, and Tar. Discuss. Definitely your turn to pick your your choice first.
So some of them I haven't seen.
No, I haven't seen Empire of Light or Bardo, the False Chronicle of a Handful of Truth. One hell of a mouthful, that movie. That's a hell of a mouthful.
Yeah. Elvis does have some pretty good cinematography. All Quiet on the Western Front.
To be fair, Baz Luhrmann is known. He's the director, right? Baz Luhrmann.
Yeah.
So he is known for his cinematography. Like, I think his first film was Romeo and Juliet with DiCaprio, and that film, like, people equated him to like Tarantino-esque style cinematography, which I still don't really know how to define Tarantino-esque cinematography or Tarantino-esque anything, because I don't think even Tarantino can define it. But I think Baz Luhrmann is definitely known for a real cinematic flair. So even without having seen Elvis, I would imagine that Elvis is going to be a huge contender for this one.
Yeah, I think it will be. I think it really will be. I did feel that probably the editing is stronger than the cinematography in this film. But you know what? To spread my bets a bit, because I've already bet twice on Elvis, I'm gonna guess All Quiet on the Western Front for this one.
You see, I was thinking that as well. So do you know what I'm going to do? Because I'll never bet on Elvis for the rest of the game, I'm going to go for Elvis for this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can mark me down for cinematography for Elvis. Although neither of us have seen Empire of Light and Bardo, False Chronicle of a Handful of Truths. And let's not forget, these are two films neither me and Craig have heard of, but there's a reason they're nominated. So it wouldn't surprise me if one of these films will take it.
Yeah.
I mean, I watched Tar, and I didn't think Tar. I mean, the cinematography is really nice. The film looks good, but I wouldn't say it's picturesque or unique. It feels very samey in terms of visual style. It's very bare bones. I did like the film, though. The film's very good. I can't wait to talk about Tar in the next one, because it's a really good film. But I am going to go with Elvis.
Okie dokie. Let's go to the next one then.
Next one, Best Original Score. Another bit of a wild card category. We've got Babylon. We've got Everything Everywhere All at Once. We've got The Banshees of Inisherin. We've got The Fabelmans. And we've got All Quiet on the Western Front. I haven't seen The Fabelmans, but I know it's John Williams. So John Williams is a living legend. So yeah, probably, it likely will go to him.
I don't really know what to say about that, because I don't like. I've seen most of those, and I wouldn't rate them. I mean, I wouldn't say that with any of them the score really stayed with me. You know, that's a odd one. What are
Our options?
Yeah,
Babylon, Everything Everywhere, Banshees, Fabelmans, All Quiet, and that's it.
That's a tough one. I mean,
really tough one. This is a real wild card round.
Yeah,
I'll pick first, because it's probably my turn again. I'll pick first to sort of give you time to think about it. I'm really torn, but my heart is telling me that Babylon is going to win something, so I'm going to go for Babylon for Best Original Score.
Okay. That's it. Like, I really wouldn't be surprised who wins this. It wouldn't surprise me if I get this wrong.
I reckon my head is telling me you should go for John Williams, but I'm trying to be strong, and I'm going to try and back Babylon a bit. I do think, you know what, I might change to John Williams. I haven't seen the film, but it's John fucking Williams and Spielberg together again.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm changing my answer. I'm going the Fabelmans.
Okay.
Now if Babylon wins, I'm going to be so annoyed that I went for the commercial choice. I went for Spielberg over like a little indie film. Yeah, I'm going to go the Fablemans.
You know what? Like, I will tell you this. I didn't really think I love the Fablemans. I really like this film, and I think it's going to do very well. But for score, I mean, I know you were saying John Williams. I don't really know much about. I guess he's a composer, right?
Yeah. You
I
don't know John Williams?
I don't, and I didn't
Fuck,
really.
dude. He did the Superman theme tune. Like the fucking... Da, 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 da. He did fucking Star Wars. He did Indiana Jones. Like, he's a
Well,
fucking legend.
fair play, but I didn't feel that there was anything like that in the Fablemans. So
Really?
yeah.
All right.
You'll remember the Fablemans for its story
Mm-hmm.
and the acting definitely. And this and yeah, I'll leave it at that. So I'm gonna go with. Oh,
Maybe I should stick with Babylon now. Shit.
I'm surprised the Fablemans got in there. I'm gonna go with. What are our options again? All Quiet on the Western Front, Everything Everywhere All at Once,
Banshees and Babylon.
Banshees as well.
Yeah.
I don't remember really any music in that film.
Are you
Not
serious?
at all. Yeah.
See, Banshees, that's my third choice because I felt Banshees is actually sort of the whole movie is resting on music. The whole movie has themes of artistry through music, and the whole movie is called Banshees of Inisherin, and the reason why it's called that is that the piece of music that Brendan Gleeson has been composing since the beginning of the film, he names the Banshees of Inisherin.
Yeah,
so
I know that, but
so music is integral, and I remember a lot of these sort of. I wouldn't call it a score though. I'd call them Irish tunes. But
see, that's what I mean. Like, I remember the tunes. I remember they were playing many instruments, but I wouldn't equate that to a score.
I would equate that to a score.
Oh, okay.
Because there's no best soundtrack Oscar. There's best score, and all the music. I believe all the music in Banshees is original. I believe. I'm not 100% sure, but I believe so.
I'm not going to go for All Quiet either. No, everything. You know what? Actually, I will go for All Quiet. Yeah.
But I'll tell you this: I hope Banshees win.
Okay.
I really like the Banshees score, but I'm going to stick to the Fablemans. I reckon they're going to do it.
Okay. All right. Next category.
Again, another wild card category: best animated short film.
Oh,
I haven't seen any of these, and I'm guessing neither of you.
No. No way.
So, are you ready for the names of these movies? You can really only go off the name and any poster that you look up. We've got My Year of Dicks. That's the first one. My Year of Dicks. Ice Merchants. An Ostrich Told Me the World is Fake, and something. There's not enough space. I can't see the whole name. But An Ostrich Told Me the World is Fake. The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse. And The Flying Sailor. That's your best animated short films. One more time. My Year of Dicks. Ice Merchants. An Ostrich Told Me the World is Fake. The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse, and The Flying Sailor.
You know what? Since we haven't seen anything, there's little we can analyze.
There's nothing we can analyze. We can just go for the guess and move on.
I'm going to go with Ostrich. The Ostrich option.
I'm going to go with My Year of Dicks. Oh, fuck. I'm on my third drink now, Craig.
Oh, my Lord.
I know. How long have we been podding? Not long. I'm on my third drink. It's getting bad. It's getting scary. All right, are you ready for your next one?
Let's go.
Best visual effects. We've got Top Gun Maverick, Black Panther 2, All Quiet on the Western Front, Avatar, and The Batman.
I don't even have to think about this.
Neither do I.
I'm going with Avatar.
Me too. Let's move on. Avatar for sure, for sure. They're not gonna take this one away from Cameron. Not a chance. So yeah. You ready for the next one?
Mm-hmm.
Best original screenplay. Mm-hmm. We've got Everything Everywhere, Banshees of Inisherin, Triangle of Sadness, The Fabelmans, and Tar.
So
now, yeah, go on.
Immediately, I'm going to rule out The Fabelmans because
rule out Fabelmans. Really?
I am, yeah, because it's basically Spielberg's autobiography. Like, if you go onto Wikipedia and you read his early years section, it's basically the plot of the film minus his mother having an affair and leaving. So I feel, well, am I making some extra rules that don't need to be there? I don't know, but
it's your call.
I feel that Everything Everywhere. You know what? Actually, Everything Everywhere All at Once. I like it, but I do feel that it owes a lot of its what am I trying to say? Its themes and ideas to stuff that has come up very recently. Like the first thing I think of is Rick and Morty. And then Triangle of Sadness is a very interesting odd film. I really encourage you to watch it. I didn't like all of it. It's not my kind of film, but it's an interesting one. Like there was some points I thought, oh, that's quite clever. That's quite thoughtful. There's some interesting stuff going on here. Other times I thought, that's a bit of a cop out. So I encourage you, because I think you'll definitely have a mixed opinion like I did when you watch it. To give it an original one, I would not say so, because there is some stuff that I felt was also a bit borrowed. Like, for example, in that film, at the end of it, in the third act of the film, basically many of the characters are marooned on an island, and they're all these billionaires and millionaires, and they basically now have to take the rules from this Filipino woman who was a toilet manager on the ship. Now she's the only one who knows how to do anything. She could start a fire, hunt, and everything. So now they're all useless and they depend on her. And so she's now the boss. And that was quite interesting, but I felt maybe has been done. But the thing that felt really done was at the end of the film, they find that on the other side of an island, there's a resort. It's a luxury resort that I remember one of the characters says. And Yaya, I think her name is. And it just felt like this idea of people being marooned on an island only to find that on the other side there's a resort and everything's fine there, and like they didn't have to be living like shit. I feel that's been done before. There's even an episode of Mr. Bean that does that, and I feel that's not very original. So I'm going to rule out The Fabelmans
and Triangle of Sadness.
Everything Everywhere All at Once is a tricky one, because although I feel that some stuff has been done before,
it does feel like a fresh take, though.
A little bit, maybe, and also it's very indie. I think an indie film can win here. Yeah. What's the other options?
Banshees of Inisherin and Tar are your last two.
Tar I haven't seen. I'm going to go with...
Tar is good.
Yeah, I will watch it. I'm going to go with Banshees of Inisherin on this one, because I feel it's I feel this one, it feels like a book. It feels like a folk tale, doesn't it? Like, it just does. Imagine like some guys in the pub and some guy just says, if you keep fucking talking to me, I'm going to cut off my fingers. And then it just feels like it's such a random thing, doesn't it? So I'm going to go with that one.
Well, I mean, you've come to this conclusion all on your own. I've let you figure this out, and you've been like, fuck it, I'm going Banshees. And I'm like, you know what? I didn't actually need to think about this at all. For me, it's a toss-up between Tar and Banshees. Ooh. And Banshees is just for me at least, maybe it's being British. I know a lot of Irish people. Maybe that's what it is, but I think the script is perfect.
Yeah.
I really love Banshees. For me, I think as much as I say RRR is my favorite film of last year, I think the best film last year for me personally is Banshees. I think it's brilliant. So for me, I agree with you. I'm going to go. My heart says original screenplay. Out of the options, it must go to Banshees. I just think it's a perfect screenplay. Next category, best documentary, short subject. So this is another category that we can get some wild card points. We've got The Elephant Whisperers. We've got Haul Out. We've got The Martha Mitchell Effect. We've got Stranger at the Gate. And we've got How Do You Measure a Year? There are our nominations. I have heard of none of them.
Me neither.
But I will go first. I like elephants, so I'm going to go The Elephant Whisperers.
Okay. I'm going to go with How Do You Measure a Year?
That was my second choice. Why did you gravitate to that?
Because
that was, there was something about it. I'm like, well, that sounds good. I don't know why.
All right, next category.
So, I'm going to stick to Elephant Whisperers.
Okay.
Our next category is Best Adapted Screenplay. So we've got Living, we've got Top Gun Maverick, we've got Woman Talking, we've got Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery, and we've got All Quiet on the Western Front. All Quiet's getting a lot of nominations this year.
Adapted screenplay. What does that really mean?
Anything that's been based on pre-existing material.
Aha.
So All Quiet on the Western Front, of course. Glass Onion is a sequel, but you would imagine it'd have to be based on a book. So I don't really know. Top Gun Maverick, again, it's a sequel. So I don't really know how they're gauging this. Maybe just sequels are adapted screenplays nowadays. I don't know. But for me, it should be based on a book.
Yeah.
Or pre-existing material.
That's what was confusing me as well, because I didn't think that Top Gun Maverick would be an adapted screenplay.
No, I'm surprised by that too.
The two ones that I know apart from Glass Onion, I think that is based on a book. I think that's based on a series of books by someone. Okay. Woman Talking is based on a book that came out, I think, a few years ago, 2018, I think, based on a true story. And All Quiet on the Western Front, it's also based on a book that was like 100 years ago. So I think that All Quiet on the Western Front has been adapted so many times. It could easily be one that wins, or it could easily be one that doesn't, because it's a 50% chance. I mean, because I think the original All Quiet on the Western Front did win the Oscars back when it came out, I think in the 1920s or 30s. Actually, I don't know what it won for, but I'm pretty sure it won something in the Oscars.
Oh, yeah. It got a few awards, I believe.
Yeah. So, but I do feel also that the Oscars, at least in the previous few years, have been trying to push for more diversity. So maybe this might be Women Talking. So I think I'm going to go with that option, actually.
Yeah, Women Talking?
Yeah.
I think I'm going to go... I'm torn. I'm either going to go with All Quiet, or I'm going to go out on a limb and go for Living, which I haven't seen, but it's a total guess. I think I'm going to stick with All Quiet. I'm going to go for All Quiet on this one.
All right.
Not much to say besides that. Next one, another wild card for me. I haven't seen any of these. Best documentary feature. We've got All That Breathes, Fire of Love, All the Beauty and the Bloodshed, A House Made of Splinters, and Navalny. Navalny.
Is that about the opposition?
I don't know.
It's about the Russian. Is it spelled Naval NY?
Yeah.
No, I think it's pronounced Navalny. I think that's the the
Well,
guy
this is it.
who's
Navel means belly button. That's the medical term for a belly button, a navel.
oh
But I'm
well.
also guessing it's something to do with the, forces in the navy. I'm guessing. I'm guessing it might be navy.
No. I'm 100 million% sure it's about the opposition leader in Russia, the guy who mostly has stood out against Putin.
Okay.
I'm very super sure.
Well, then that's probably the one that's going to win, eh?
Well, yeah, but yeah, he actually got poisoned a year or two ago, and he was flown over to Berlin, and then they treated him there. And I think he went back to Russia because he does a lot of protests and stuff. But I think then he disappeared in like a Siberian camp, and I don't know if they ever found him.
All right, I'm going for this.
You're going for
Me.
Navalny.
Yeah, put me down for Navalny. Definitely.
All right.
That sounds super relevant today.
I'm going to go with, what was it? House of Splinters, did you say?
House made of splinters, yeah.
I'm going to go with that.
All right, sweet. Cool. Moving on. Now we're getting into like the big awards, Craig.
All right.
Now we're getting into the big ones. Best supporting actor. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
We've got Brendan Gleeson for Banshees of Inisherin. We've got Brian Tree Henry from Causeway. We've got Judd Hirsch from The Fabelmans. We've got Barry Keoghan from Banshees of Inisherin. And we've got Ke Huy Quan from Everything Everywhere All at Once, a.k.a. fucking Short Round from Indiana Jones 2, and he's in The Goonies.
I'm going to go with him. I'm pretty sure.
Really?
Yeah.
That's what I was going to go with.
I'm going with him because I think he was very solid, actually.
I thought he was brilliant in Everything Everywhere.
Yeah.
And I always loved him as a kid when I was growing up with Indy and with Goonies. He was always like one of those child actors that I loved that I never got to see do much more. You know, there was the same with Edward Furlong. I loved him in Terminator and I loved him in American History X. And there's literally only been like a handful of films that I've seen where he's popped up and I'm like, oh shit, you're still a thing.
I will explain a couple of things behind my choice as well. So Judd Hirsch, right?
Judd Hirsch, yeah.
Yeah, you haven't seen The Fabelmans yet, but I will tell you that
I started watching it and the internet fucked me out.
Oh. I know. You will, when you get round to it, you will really like his performance. But he's in it for so short. He's in it for a really small part. But it is a very crucial point, by the way, a very crucial part of the film. And about the character Sammy, who is Spielberg. But I feel that he wasn't there enough to really get it. I know that Judd, I think I saw something in The Guardian that he really expects to win that. And I think he's going to be pissed if he doesn't. But I think he's just not in it enough. Okay. And then there is Barry Keoghan, I think. How do you pronounce that name? I'm not sure.
Keoghan, I think. Keoghan.
I like
Barry Keoghan.
Yes, I'm probably like that. I think I've seen him in about 4 things now. And I do like him.
I've seen him. Was it We Need to Talk About Kevin? Was that the one he was in that I saw him in?
I'm not sure about that, but I've seen him in 1917. I've seen him in Chernobyl. And I've seen him in
Banshees.
Banshees, obviously. And obviously he was at the end of the last. Yeah. I do like him, and I think he's going to do well. But
he's also in the Eternals as well.
Yeah, I didn't really think his performance was that amazing in Banshees of Inisherin, to be honest. And I also found it kind of odd that I've never been to Ireland, and I don't know a million Irish people, but I did feel that his accent was very different to the rest of the cast, which I felt was kind of strange for a group of people that live on an island.
The thing is, his performance. So his Irish accent is pretty much his real Irish accent. He just plays it in like an Irish. He's basically playing like Irish Forrest Gump in Banshees, and it's not a bad performance by any means. It's not a bad performance. But within the same film, you've got Brendan Gleeson, who's also nominated, who I would say would deserve it more than him.
Yeah.
I think Brendan is way better than Barry in the same movie. And I wouldn't even go so far as to saying Ke Huy Quan is better than Brendan Gleeson. They're two very different performances.
I think for me, Gleeson would be my second guess. But you know, I know you like, apart from like the nostalgia of seeing, I'm gonna say Short Round, because I don't know if I'm gonna remember how his full name is. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Apart
Short
from
Round. I love him.
Apart from nostalgia of seeing him in something big again, his performance was actually pretty good as well, because he goes
he
between
really is.
two versions of himself
He is
flawlessly.
Oh yeah, no, I agree. I think he is excellent in Everything Everywhere. But you know what? I'll tell you what. So you're going to go with him? You're going to go with Ke Huy Quan?
Yes.
You know what? Then, just to keep things interesting, I'm going to go Brendan Gleeson.
All right.
But part of me really wants to support Short Round. I just want to keep the game interesting. Are you ready for the next one?
Let's go for it.
I would say this is probably the biggest accolade at the Oscars besides Best Picture. We are now doing Best Director.
Oh,
this is the big cheese. This is the big cheese here. Nominated for Best Director, we have Martin McDonagh for Banshees of Inisherin, Todd Field for Tar, Ruben Östlund for Triangle of Sadness, Daniel Kwan for Everything Everywhere, Daniel Scheinert for Everything Everywhere, and Steven Spielberg for The Fabelmans.
How many times has Spielberg won an Oscar for Best Director? Do we know?
I think only twice.
Really?
I think so. Do you want me to really briefly look it up?
Yeah.
Can you look it up, because I've got this list up. Yeah, you look it up. I don't think he's won a huge amount.
He's been nominated 7 times.
Yeah, he's been nominated a whole bunch, but I don't think he's won many. Maybe 2.
1, 2, yeah. Huh, it's pretty interesting because
Schindler's List, I'm guessing he won for.
Yeah, let's see. Because it's really interesting, because after I watched Fabelmans, I really wanted to go back and have a look at his filmography, and I was like, Jesus Christ, sometimes you really forget how many things he has done. Okay, you were right. Yeah, he has won Best Director once for Schindler's List.
Mm-hmm.
And then 5 years later, he won again for Saving Private Ryan. So what were our categories again?
Our nominees are Martin McDonagh for Banshees, Todd Field for Tar, Ruben Östlund for Triangle of Sadness, Daniel Kwan and Daniel Scheinert for Everything Everywhere, and Steven Spielberg.
Are the Daniels being nominated separately or together?
They're being nominated separately, interestingly enough. Well, at least on my list. Maybe they're going to get nominated together for the actual show, but the list I've got up, they're listed as 2 separate nominees.
Huh. Okay. I think that should be together, because if that's separate, that would be really weird. Because I think they do everything together, those 2 guys.
You would imagine it would be together. I'm sure it's together.
Best Director. See, which do you think is the most impactful film in terms of director then? Because I'm not.
For me, 100%, it's Martin McDonagh.
You think?
Yeah. I think Banshees it's just excellent. It's just fucking brilliant. I loved it. I thought it was very, very good. I started watching it at 1 a.m. I was not tired by the end of it. I was gripped the whole way through. I'm a big fan of the movie.
You know, I did like that film was less than 2 hours. That's one of the first things I noticed. Finally, thank you. Something a bit shorter.
It's brilliant. I really liked it. It's fucking brilliant.
You know what? I'm going to go with the Daniels on this one, though, to be honest. I do really like, what's the name of the director for Banshees again?
Martin McDonough.
I do really like him, but I feel that he's going to have a. I think that one day he's going to make a film that's really spectacular. It's going to come. It's come in the
I
future.
mean, I already think that In Bruges was spectacular, and he did In Bruges.
He did. I remember, and that's the first thing I remember when when I started watching Banshees of Inisherin. The first thing I thought of was two things actually. The opening shot is of this island, isn't it? The island that they live on, this rocky island on the coast of Ireland. Like, did you not think of Father Ted when you first saw that?
I did, yeah. It was like Craggy Island. Like Craggy Island. I loved it.
Yeah, and then as soon as I see Colin Farrell and Brendan Gleeson together as well, I was like, okay, here we go, in Bruges. And like they kind of playing kind of similar characters in a way, because like I think when you get the two together, Colin Farrell is always the kind of dimmer one, and Gleeson's always the brighter one, isn't he?
Are you Rowan? I don't know, but I think we are Rowan, yeah. Are you Rowan? I don't know, but maybe we are. It does look like we're Rowan. I mean, look, I really love Banshees. I'm not going to go with Martin McDonough though. If you're going to go with the Daniels, I'm actually going to go with Spielberg on this one.
Oh, okay.
And I haven't seen Fabelmans, but I'm just sort of going off the basis that Hollywood tend to stick to people that have already paid their dues.
True.
And Spielberg is finally making a movie about his own life. I reckon the Academy will give him Best Director.
Oh, that's really making me reconsider my thought.
Well,
my choice. But you know what?
We're locked in now. We're locked in now.
I'm going to stay with the Daniels, but I think probably you might be right on that one.
Next one. Are you ready?
Go for it.
Live action short film. A big wild card round again. We've got An Irish Goodbye. We've got The Red Suitcase. We've got The Pupils. We've got Ivalu. And we've got Night Ride.
Oh.
Not much to say.
I'm
just going to go out on a whim. I'm going to say An Irish Goodbye.
An Irish Goodbye. Probably involves whiskey. I actually don't remember any of them. Say them again.
An Irish Goodbye, Red Suitcase, The Pupils, Ivalu, or Night Ride.
I'm going for Ivalu, but I don't know how you spell that.
Ivalu. I nearly went for Night Ride.
I think of Knight Rider when you say that.
Yeah, that's it. That's why. Okay, you ready for the next category? And I've already got my choice ready for this one.
Go on.
So we've now got another big one, Best Supporting Actress.
So do they still have, they have Best Actor, but they still have Best Supporting Actor and Best Supporting Actress. Am I right?
Best Supporting Actor, Best Supporting Actress, Best Actor, Best Actress.
Okay. So they still, I was wondering if they still kept both, or they just used actor now, because it does feel a bit dated to separate it that way.
I mean, this is the thing. I mean, we're still yet to. Have we ever had a trans nominee for Best Actor or Actress?
As far as I know, I don't think so.
So yeah, maybe in the future we'll end up having like a non-binary performer category. But until such a time as a trans actor or actress is nominated, I don't know. There'll likely be some big debate about it, whether this person should be nominated for actor or actress or whatever. Only time will tell on that one. But go on.
The only advantage I see it having both actor and actress is that we get more winners. But like,
yeah, exactly.
And maybe there is the worry.
It is the same, and like gender shouldn't really separate it. In all fairness, like some people make the argument that you can't have men and women competing in the same sport. Which I think, fair enough. There are some good arguments and some bad arguments. But for acting, it really is the same job, and your gender really shouldn't fall into Yeah, I just don't. Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's a bit outdated. It really is the
Yeah.
same gig. But yeah, it just feels like it's just for extra awards.
The only thing I will say about that, maybe there's a good reason, is that probably more men would win.
Oh, no, here's a good idea. Why don't you start introducing best performer where you make it intergender? You make it an intergender uh, com- uh, award to compete for. So you have best actor, best actress, best supporting actor, best supporting actress, and then you have another award, best performance, where the winners compete against one another.
Yeah, that would be nice. Actually, maybe that
I
does need to be introduced, especially
I
since
really I
they
was it. I actually really like that because some supporting actors are giving a better performance than people who are winning best actor.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
we need to sell these ideas to the Academy
On
Awards.
Academy Awards, listen to us. Listen to us. You can have this for free. Have it for free. But next year, best performance from any gender, from any role, whether it be a leading role or a supporting role. I think it absolutely needs to be a thing. And maybe even best non binary performer as well, and have them also compete for best performance. But
Mm,
yes, whether this is going to come in the future, though. This will come in the future, but I'm sure we will have best non-binary performer as well at some point.
yeah. All right,
So for best supporting actress, are you ready for the nominations?
go for it.
We have Angela Bassett for Black Panther. We have Kerry Condon for Banshees of Inisherin. We have Jamie Lee Curtis for Everything Everywhere All at Once. We have Stephanie Hsu, I don't know how to pronounce her last name, also from Everything Everywhere All at Once, or Hong Chow from The Whale.
I'm really surprised there is no one from Women Talking in there, because I
Mm,
could have sworn they probably would have put Jessie Buckley in there.
you would
Uh,
imagine.
because I really like her. I've seen her in quite a few things, and I really think that one day she's gonna have a massive role, like a really big role. I could just see it happening whenever I see her in something. I think she's fantastic. So I'm really
Yeah.
surprised that there's not even anybody actually from that film nominated.
No
Uh,
one.
and it's almost completely women in that film. There's only one other guy, Ben Whishaw, is also in it. So I'm very surprised that they have nothing.
It'd be
Two
funny
nom-
if he was nominated.
Yeah. Two nominations for Everything Everywhere All at Once is a bit
That's right.
strange.
Yeah.
I don't think that what's her name from Halloween, Jamie Lee Curtis is going to get that.
Hmm.
Uh, she was
It
quite
it's
fun to
a
watch.
it's a two-horse race for me, but I won't tell you what my two horses are yet. I
What
want I
are
want you to pick yours.
what are the other options?
So your options are Angela Bassett from Black Panther, Kerry Condon from Banshees of Inisherin, Jamie Lee, Stephanie Hsu from Everything Everywhere as well, and Hong Chow from The Whale.
I'm gonna go with. Did you say Angela Bassett is her name?
Yes.
Yeah, because I although I haven't seen Black Panther 2, I have heard that her performance is really good in that film. Maybe you
Hmm.
said that actually. I don't know
I
where I
definitely
heard
to-
that.
I definitely told you this.
Okay, then for that reason, I'm going for Angela Bassett. That will be my Black Panther
So um,
uh bet.
yeah. Well, this is the thing. For me, it's a two-horse race, and it's between Stephanie Hsu. No, sorry, no, Hong Chow from The Whale and Angela Bassett. They're the two that I would give it to, and I'm also going to go for Angela Bassett.
Okay.
I think she's excellent in Black Panther. If the movie's not great, it's better than the first one, but it's not great. But Angela Bassett is like shivers down my spine good in one scene in particular. So yeah, I'm going to give it to Angela.
All right. Next
All right,
one.
next one. Best animated feature. I've seen two of them. We've got Turning Red. We've got Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. We've got Marcel, the shell with shoes on. We've got The Sea Beast, I believe is a Netflix original. And we've got Puss in Boots, The Last Wish.
Well, so we were chatting earlier, and you said that the Puss in Boots film is remarkably good, well, surprisingly good. Guillermo del
You know
Toro.
what? I would actually say it is remarkably good. I'd read a couple of reviews about it, and I was shocked to find out that the sequel to a Shrek spin-off was getting such high accolade. So I watched it earlier today. It is actually very, very good. And it's definitely. I mean, I've only seen that and Pinocchio, and I only watched Pinocchio when it first came out, so it was a while back. But I did think Puss in Boots 2 was very good. I won't lie. I thought it was very good.
Okay. I have seen Turning Red.
How was it?
It's a very good film. It's really good.
That is
Uh,
Disney, isn't it? That is a Disney one.
I actually don't remember if it's Disney or Pixar. Maybe it is Disney.
Oh, but Pixar is Disney now.
Oh, sorry. I mean, no, it won't be DreamWorks. DreamWorks is a bit of a different field.
DreamWorks did Puss in Boots.
Yeah. I'm going to go with Turning Red for this one because,
Really?
yeah. Although, to be honest, as an anime, like for its form, for its medium of being an animation, I don't think it's particularly mind blowing. Maybe in that respect, I might look at Pinocchio because appreciating the craftsmanship in it, I might go in that way. But
if it helps you make your decision, I'm definitely going to go for Pinocchio.
Okay. Well, then in that case, to make it interesting, I'm going to go with Turning Red.
Really, I'm surprised. Yeah. I will say I would not be surprised if Puss in Boots wins because it is very good. I thought it was excellent. I was really surprised by it. All right, our next category, Best Original Song. And I know exactly which one I'm going for. We've got Naatu Naatu. We've got This Is a Life. We've got Lift Me Up. We've got Hold My Hand. And we've got Applause. Some notable names in there. Rihanna is nominated for Lift Me Up. I believe that's from Black Panther. Lady Gaga for Hold My Hand. I'm not sure what movie that's from. And Diane Warren for Applause. I'm not sure what that's from. Naatu Naatu is M.M. Keeravani, Chandrabravos from RRR. This Is the Life. I'm not sure where that's from, but that's by someone called Mitski.
Well, I have not heard of any of those songs except probably the one from RRR, although I'm not sure which one it is.
No. Well, okay. Well, I mean, I'm going for Naatu Naatu.
I'm also going for it as well.
Because my heart says that song is a fucking masterpiece. So I'm going for Naatu Naatu. Stay tuned in the coming months, guys. Me and Craig have already recorded it. It is coming. We do we do a podcast on that. That is coming. We're still in the process of editing it, but that's not going to be for a couple of months. So a little teaser now. But yes, Naatu Naatu. It's my favorite movie of 2022. I'm so annoyed that it hasn't gotten more nominations. I'm going for Naatu Naatu, Best Original Song.
All right. Good.
And you as well?
Yeah, the same.
Okay. Our next category. We're nearly there, Craig. Best International Feature Film. The nominations are All Quiet on the Western Front, Argentina, 1985, The Quiet Girl, Close, and EO.
I have only seen All Quiet on the Western Front.
Same.
And I feel that because I'm guessing probably in a category or two. We must be near the end by now. Best film, best picture will come up, and I don't actually think All Quiet on the Western Front will win it. So I'm thinking strategically, All Quiet on the Western Front might win this category.
I agree with you. I think if it's nominated for this and for Best Picture, then it's likely going to win this, but not Best Picture. Although Parasite did win Best Picture after winning Best International Picture. But I'm going to go for All Quiet on the Western Front as well. Even though I did watch a little bit of EO, and I just got uncomfortable. Like the opening scene, it looked like a woman fucking a donkey. So I was like, you know what? Maybe I'm not going to bother with this one. But it was filmed really well. The direction in this opening sequence, like you can't really tell. Like, is this donkey porn? Is this what's going on here? Like you can't really make out what's going on. But like you definitely see enough to make you go, I'm a little bit uncomfortable. I was pretty uncomfortable. And then the movie just stops being uncomfortable. It's like, okay, now it's just about a donkey. And it's like, the donkey don't talk or nothing. It's just a donkey. And the life of a donkey passing by. Like, I watched about 20 minutes and I turned it off. I was like, you know what? I'm not bothered with this one. I'm going to go for All Quiet on the Western Front. But I've got a feeling EO might be a sleeper one on this one. But I'm going to go All Quiet as well with you.
Okay.
With EO, there was some trivia I know. The director said the only time he cried in his life, he watched a film about a donkey being like mistreated. And it's the only time he ever cried in his life. And that's why he made a film about a donkey. Yeah.
Interesting. Maybe we should do a pod on that one because that sounds like a very odd film.
It's a very weird one. So yeah, mark us both down for All Quiet. Are you ready for the next one?
Next one.
Okay, now look, we've got the three big ones next. These are the last three. These are the big ones. Best Actress. Are you ready?
Yep.
We've got Andrea Riseborough from To Leslie. We've got Michelle Williams from The Fabelmans. We've got Kate Blanchett from Tar. We've got Anna de Armas from Blonde. And we've got Michelle Yeoh from Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Oh,
a
quick thing, by the way. I think I saw something that there was some controversy about. I think is Andrea Riseborough. Like some people were saying, why the hell is she being nominated? What's going on? Like they felt that there was something dodgy with her.
Really?
I don't know anything. Yeah, there was some people were saying that she shouldn't have been nominated. I don't know. I haven't seen anything she's acted in. I think that it's probably going to be Michelle Yeoh for this. It has to be.
I personally agree. I think Michelle Yeoh is a really good shout. I think Kate Blanchett is in with a good chance. I think it will go to Michelle Yeoh, so I'm going to go Michelle Yeoh.
Nice. All right. Next one before Anchor knocks us off again.
Hang on, what are you going on? What are you going on?
The same Michelle Yeoh.
Yeah. We're both on Michelle Yeoh. Okay. We've got two more left. Next one, Best Actor. Nominated for Best Actor, we have Mr. Brendan Fraser from The Whale. We have Austin Butler from Elvis. We have Colin Farrell from Banshees of Inisherin. We have Bill Nighy from Living, which I haven't seen. And we've got Paul Mescal from Aftersun, which I also haven't seen.
I don't really know.
I know exactly who I'm going for.
I wish I had seen his Living thing because this Living film has been nominated for quite a few things.
It's come up a few times, yeah.
I think a lot of people really want this. A lot of people really want Brendan Fraser to win.
So do I.
And maybe, I don't know, nostalgia, people wanting him to come back. You know, well, he doesn't really leave.
People want to see George of the Jungle win an Oscar.
Yeah.
Want to see?
You know what? I have a feeling you're going to go for Brendan Fraser, aren't you? Yeah, I know.
Well, My heart tells me Brendan Fraser. I think okay, so this is how I think it's going to go down. I think I forget his name now, but I think the guy who played Elvis is going to win. I think the person who deserves it most probably would be Colin Farrell, which is a really surprising sentence to come out of my mouth. The person who I want to win is Brendan Fraser.
Hmm.
So there's there's the Hollywood politics, there's who I think should win it, and there's who I want to win it. So I'm going to
Ah,
go with my heart. Who I want to win is Brendan Fraser, so I'm going to go with Brendan.
okay.
But I think technically speaking, I think Colin Farrell probably deserves it the most. However, I haven't seen Elvis, but typically speaking, biopics are usually what win Academy Awards for performances, and I would imagine this guy, because he looks so much like Elvis, I reckon he's going to win it, just because this is what happens at the Oscars. You do like a biopic on a celebrity. If the impression is on point, they typically go on to win it. And I still want to see an Elvis biopic with Nick Cage as Elvis. I think he'd be perfect for it. I think older Elvis, Nick Cage is perfect for that. I want to see a Nick Cage Elvis movie.
Okay. Oh, fuck. I don't know who I'm going to go for.
I'm
Yeah.
going for Brendan. I'm going for Brendan.
All right. In that case, I'm going with Austin Butler then.
Oh, fuck you. You don't want to live life dangerously. You don't want to live on the edge. You don't want to pick someone more exciting than the fucking biopic guy who's always been.
No, I want to win. I want to
All right.
win.
Okay. All right. We are now in the final stretch, Craig.
Yeah.
This is the big one. Best film.
Or picture.
Best picture? What we've all been waiting for. Nominated are Top Gun Maverick, Women Talking, Everything Everywhere All at Once, The Banshees of Inisherin, Triangle of Sadness, The Fablemans, All Quiet on the Western Front, Avatar: The Way of Water, Elvis, and Tar.
I already know what mine is because, well, a couple of them I haven't seen yet, but based on what I have seen, uh, I'm gonna say that the Fablemans will win.
Yeah,
I really think it will, yeah, because it's a film about film. That's the thing, and it's
yeah.
Hollywood Hollywood making a film about itself. Although it's
Mm-hmm.
Spielberg, Spielberg is basically just Hollywood. Like he's been involved in Hollywood for so long. It just has to be him. I mean,
Yeah,
I did,
I agree.
yeah, I yeah,
I I mean, for me personally, I think Fablemans is what it will go to. I think Banshees of Inisherin is what it should go to, and I think Everywhere All at Once I want it to go to. Um, we haven't really talked about Tar, and I watched Tar last night. I really like Tar, but I just can't consider it for any of these awards. I just feel like there are better options this year for every award. I feel bad for Kate Blanchett that I didn't give her Best Actress. But as I say, as good as the film is, I don't think it's Oscar worthy this year. I
So
go on.
who are you going for then? Say Avatar. Go on.
No,
Go on.
I
Say.
refuse. The fuck off Avatar. You know what then? You know what? I'm gonna go with the film I think deserves it, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna lose a point on this one. But I think I really want to go for Banshees. I
Yeah.
really I loved it. I loved it.
Okay.
For me, I think it's close to a perfect film, if not already a perfect film. I really really like Banshees, and I don't think I'm going to win this point. However, yeah, I just think it's the film that should get it out of the bunch. I think everything everywhere also is a good shout. I think that's also a wild card. I reckon Everything Everywhere will give other movies a run for their money here. I think The Fabelmans, yeah, I think politically speaking, the Oscars will find it difficult not to give it to Spielberg.
You can't snub him. You can't not
Yeah.
give it to him.
Yeah. Although you never know, All Quiet might surprise us. Elvis might surprise us. Even Tar as well. Like we haven't guessed Tar for anything really so far, and maybe Tar will run away with everything.
Yeah,
and maybe we're fools.
We'll have our catch up and see after our reaction.
Oh yeah. Stay tuned, guys. In the next couple of days, we'll have a much longer podcast out where we'll respond to the results, and we'll talk more about the films. I think, you know what, I'm going to go Banshees. I know I'm throwing away the point, but it's the film that deserves it most. I'm going to go Banshees.
All right. Then we're good. We have a vote for everything.
We have our votes. Craig, why don't you, because you've been keeping track, why don't you roll off what we've got so far?
Best sound. I picked Elvis. You picked Top Gun. Best production design. Avatar for me, Avatar for you. Best film editing. For me, Elvis. For you, Everything Everywhere All at Once. Best costume. I picked Babylon. You picked Black Panther 2. Best makeup and styling. The Whale for me. The Batman for you. Best cinematography. All Quiet on the Western Front for me. Elvis for you. Best original score. All Quiet on the Western Front for me. For you, the Fabelmans. Best animation short. I put Ostrich. You put My Year of Dicks. Ostrich is not the full name, by the way. I just wrote that. I was taking notes quickly.
Keywords.
Best visual effects. We both picked Avatar. Best original screenplay. We both picked Banshees. Best documentary. I picked How Do You Measure a Year? You picked Elephant Whispers. Best adapted screenplay. I put All Women Talking. You put All Quiet on the Western Front. Best documentary feature. I put House Made of Splinters. You put Navalny. Best supporting actor. I picked the guy who plays Short Round. I'm so sorry, I can't remember his name. I really need to remember it.
Ke Huy Quan, I think.
Okay, I'll need to remember that for the next time we talk about him and Everything Everywhere All at Once. You picked Gleeson. Best director. I picked the Daniels. You picked Spielberg.
I'm going to lose that. I'm going to lose best supporting actor.
Best supporting actor. No, sorry, that's direct. Oh yeah, okay. For a second, I thought it said best supporting director. Best live action short. I picked Evalue. You picked An Irish Goodbye. Best supporting actress. We both picked Angela Bassett.
I think she'll definitely win it. I'm certain she'll win it.
Yeah. And then for best animated feature, I picked Turning Red. You picked Pinocchio. Best original song, we both picked RRR. Best international feature film, we both picked All Quiet on the Western Front. Best actress, we both picked Michelle Yeoh. Best actor, win. Yeah, I think so. I chose Austin Butler for best actor. You chose Brendan Fraser. And for best picture, I picked The Fabelmans, however it's pronounced, and you picked Banshees. And there we are.
Okay, I mean, I think it could go either way here. I think it could go either way. Either one of us will run away with it, or it'll be very, very close. I think.
Yeah, I think it's going to be close. I think that it's going to be surprising for some of them. I bet there'll be plenty that we're both wrong on.
Oh yeah, for sure. But I think you've got me there on the best picture. I think you're right after the point you made. I think Fabelmans will win.
Yeah, I think I might be right on this.
I think you are right. I think Fabelmans will win it. I mean, this is why I went for Spielberg for Best Director, because I think it might be one of those like Scorsese. He won Best Director for The Departed, and it's probably not the film he should have won Best Director for. He'd made plenty of other movies in the past that he should have won Best Director, and by the time he'd made Departed, he'd never made a movie that won an Oscar, and it was like, okay, this man's been doing this for 30, 40 years, and we've still never given him a fucking Oscar. We need to give it to him now. And it might be a similar sort of story for Spielberg in that, like, this is a movie, it's a love letter to cinema, but it's also self-autobiographical from Spielberg, one of the greatest living directors of all time. Like, is it too good of an opportunity to pass up? This man needs to win fucking everything.
You know what?
Maybe Fabelmans will just run away with everything. Maybe.
I tell you this, you haven't seen the whole thing yet, but I'm telling you, you'll love the ending of the Fabelmans.
Really?
You will. Yeah, it's really good. I like the ending. It was very, very good.
I mean, this is the thing. Maybe after watching it, my opinion would change. Before we started recording this, I'd started watching it, and then my internet all messed up. But I watched like 15 minutes. It already looked good. But I tell you what, when we come for our next recording, so stay tuned, guys. In a couple of days, you'll get part 2, which is the post-Oscars chat, where me and Craig will respond to what actually happened, see who won today's little game. But I'm pretty sure that after watching Fabelmans, my opinions might change. But I'm locking my opinions now. I'm locking all my opinions now. I've only voted for 2 awards for Fabelmans, and maybe it would deserve all of them. Maybe. What is it? Judd Hirsch. Maybe he should be the one winning Best Supporting Actor.
Maybe.
All right. Well, should we call it a day there, Craig?
I think we should. I think we really should.
I've absolutely no idea how long this podcast will go on, because we've had to cut and stop and start so many times. So thank you guys for coming out to listen to us. We are Film Shrapnel. Hopefully this one wasn't too boring for you. I had fun. I like predicting the Oscars. It's good fun for me. And Craig, nice to chat to you, sir.
As always.
Please do follow us, guys, on Twitter. We are at Film Shrapnel, capital F, capital S. And yeah, we'll see you in the next one, part 2, where we actually will be speaking to you in the future, post Oscars, where we'll talk about what happened. Maybe there'll be a second Will Smith slap. I think Will Smith is banned from the Oscars for the next 10 years, but maybe someone else will get slapped. That'll be fun. But until then, we'll see you after the Oscars. It won't be long. Craig, you got anything to say, sir?
No, not really. I just hope I win again, as I always win when we play games. No, actually, I don't. Usually you win.
Well, so the next episode after the Oscars, I think Vampire's Kiss is coming next, and then it will be the next Who Wants to Be a Pretentious Film Critic, and we'll see who wins that. But I think Craig slightly signposted it there.
I played very dirty.
Yeah,
in that game. So yeah,
you definitely did. That's all right. I'm going to get you back for the third one. All right. Well, guys, we'll speak to you in the next one. It won't be too long. Hopefully, you guys will get to listen to this before the Oscars. What time is it for me? Hang on. I'll tell you exactly. So we are 11 hours away from the Oscars at the time of recording. I'm now going to jump on editing this so it goes out 10 hours before the Oscars. So, yeah. Craig, I think we're going to say keep it knees, big man.
Keep it knees.